Hey guys, it's Matthew here today. I just want to talk to you a little bit about a persuasive video. My persuasive video is going to be on faith, and I'll start a little bit back whenever I was much younger, around the teens of my life, around probably 13 or 14. I ended up I was going to church quite a bit with my grandmother, and I got saved. We went to Baptist church, and it changed my life. I could definitely tell that my faith, my faith was getting stronger, and I feel like my life was turning around. I was trying to make changes in my life. And then shortly after that, I was still young. I was going through a lot of just changes and just, wanting to do my own thing. I wasn't really mature, and I ended up kind of straying away from my faith after a long time. Just doing what I wanted to do, and I wouldn't say it was a lot of good things. And then whenever I was about 24, 25 years old, I met my wife now, Jessica, that she was going to Rome State Community College in Knoxville, which is where I'm from. And we actually ended up meeting on Tinder. I believe I spoke about that before. But it was kind of a change from there. I still had my faith. I just was kind of strayed away from it. But we ended up having our son Lucas, and then right before that we ended up getting married. It happened really fast, and then I had to end up moving to where we currently live in Kingsport. And I still had faith, but I didn't really, devote a lot of time to it or anything like that. And then it took about 3 years of us kind of struggling. We were getting through. We were able to pay bills and do what we had to do and get through life. And we were definitely, at that time, I didn't know it, but God was really watching over us. He was watching over me and guiding me, even though I didn't know that He was guiding me. And it really didn't kick in until about a year and a half ago. I rededicated my life to the Lord again, and I started being more passionate. The main thing I done is I started reading the Bible more. What I done is I actually kind of made like a pact with God to read at least a chapter a day, every day after I got off work. And I've done that for about a year and a half, and it really changed my life. That just picking up the Bible and reading it, there's a lot of really good things that you can learn in there, and it really did change my life. It made me more happy. There's a lot of things that it done for me that I just don't. It's hard to explain. It really made me stronger in my faith for sure, and it's not really about. I ask a lot of people, I'm like, what is your spiritual beliefs? And a lot of people say, well, I don't go to church like I should. But one thing that I can get to you that you need to understand is it's not about going to church or making all these other people think that you believe and stuff. It's what you truly believe yourself. It's about your daily life with Jesus Christ. It's about everything that you do with Him. But my life, I started realizing how blessed I really was. I was able to purchase a house, and I didn't think I would ever be able to do that. And I've got everything that I've ever wanted pretty much, and it's all because of God. It's all because God's taken care of me and blessed me. There's no coincidences, I don't really believe in coincidences, and it's crazy some of the experiences that I've had and people I've talked to, and it just builds my faith every single day when I hear certain stories and just certain things that I've had, and but here recently, I have struggled here recently some, just dealing with personal stuff in my life, and I've kind of lost the fire a little bit, I guess. I've not lost my faith. I'll always have my faith, and I've struggled a little bit here recently, but to be persuasive for you, the biggest thing that I could say is to pick up the Bible and read it, because that was probably the biggest thing that changed me. It made me be a better father, husband, and just better all around. It made me be more happy, and I wanted to learn more and more and more about Jesus and all the good things that he done, and it just, that's the biggest thing I can push to you, is just to pick up the Bible. Read a chapter a day, a verse or two a day, whatever, and it might pique your interest, and you might really get into it. But if you guys have any questions about anything, I'm always here, and I'm pretty open. So just hit me up. Thank you. Bye.